New York Mets give multiple updates as we have 5 roster moves and 2 critical updates on players on rehab assignments to go over today. And this is going to substantially help the New York Mets as players are returning, key players are returning, especially on the pitching side, which has been such a downfall in terms of injuries so far here in 2025. Met fans are ecstatic, they're excited, they can't wait to see their favorite players, these key players, these good players return to the roster. So we got plenty to go over, and it'll only be here on Mets Digest. I'm your host today, Mike Duda. I'll take you through everything, but first, we have to talk about some subscribers, and that being that 67.8% of you that watch these videos aren't one. So please do me a favor, do us a favor here at Mets Digest, and hit that free subscribe button. That way, we can bring content to you about the amazing. So without further ado, let's dive right into this, and we are going to check out the recent roster moves. Take a look, there's a lot of them. We're going to work left to right, starting with Jesse Winker. Yay! He has returned from his rehab assignment, and the outfielder was reinstated from the 60-day injured list. Very simply, this means he's no longer on the injured list. He is healthy, and he is on the active 26-man roster, obviously also on the 40-man. But so it seems this year, with one injury comes good news, or vice versa. With one good news comes another injury. And with the good news on Winker, with Winker being healthy, comes another outfield injury, that being Starling Marte. Go ahead and check out my video on that if you haven't already. I posted that on Sunday the 6th when he got injured. Oddly enough, he's going to the 10-day IL, retroactive to July 7th, which is really odd because he got hurt on the 6th. But whatever, it is with a right knee bruise. Again, check out that video for more details on Marte. Very unfortunate as he was having a solid start to the year. We'll check that out in a little bit. Right-handed pitcher Tylor Megill has been transferred to the 60-day injured list. He was originally on the 15. This isn't a substantial move because he's been out for a while, so this isn't going to impede him coming back early or anything. He'll be fine. He's just moving to the 60-day IL to make room on the 40-man roster for right-handed pitcher Alex Carrillo, who has been selected to the Major League roster. Go check out that video from earlier if you haven't already. That was awesome. He's got such a cool story, and I'm so happy that he is on the New York Mets. So, again, that's just a roster move thing to make room on the 60, in addition to right-handed pitcher Zack Pop being DFA'd. Again, half these moves are just to make sure we have 26 players on the active roster and 40 people on the 40-man, and to make sure all the players that need to be on the 26-man roster, the active roster, are all on the 40-man roster. So that's more of a technical thing. We'll get into Pop in a little bit and how he really struggled against the New York Yankees. But Sean Manaea will continue his rehab assignment with AAA Syracuse tonight. And we also have a right-handed pitcher in Junior Fernandez, who has been signed to a minor league contract and is reporting to Syracuse. We're going to talk about Manaea in a little bit. But as for now, let's talk Jesse Winker. He is back. And as a result, you got Tylor Megill going to the 60. Danny Abriano of SNY says, quote, "The Mets are getting a jolt ahead of Tuesday night's game against the Orioles in Baltimore, with Jesse Winker being activated from the IL. In addition to the move, Tylor Megill was transferred to the 60-day IL. Again, this is simply just to make room on the 40-man roster for all of the players that are active, like Alex Carrillo, who has to be on that 40-man roster to be on the active 26-man roster and actually report down to Baltimore tonight. We have an update, obviously, on Starling Marte as he's hitting the injured list. Abriano says, quote, "With Winker being added to the active roster, the Mets place Starling Marte on the 10-day IL. Marte is again dealing with a knee issue, which began to bother him on Sunday against the Yankees. Go check out my video if you haven't already on Marte, where I go into that in a lot more depth. But very unfortunate, Marte is getting up there in age, and with it, his knees continue to go. It's another injury to Marte's knee. But let's go over the Jesse Winker situation. Let's be a little bit more positive. As Abriano says, quote, "Winker last played on May 4th, which is when he suffered an oblique injury that threw New York's designated hitter situation into disarray. He wasn't crushing it at the plate before he got injured, but he was solidly above average with an OPS plus of 112. Keep in mind, league average OPS plus is 100, so he was 12 OPS plus points better than the average MLB hitter, which is definitely solid, especially at the DH spot. And it would have been so nice to have him and Starling Marte healthy at the same time. Look at these splits. Marte was looking really, really good in May, June, and July. His past 2+ months rather, have been really, really solid. So it's unfortunate to see Marte go down on the IL, on the injured list. But you heard it, Jesse Winker, he's got a 112 OPS plus this year. He's an above MLB average hitter, and he will be returning. Here are the career numbers for him. Not the greatest season this year, but again, above average. He was not very good with the Mets, surprisingly, when he was traded to them at the deadline, but he was critical down the stretch, making the postseason, and in the postseason, he was really clutch for the Mets. And now it's going to be his job to take on that designated hitter role once again and to be the Jesse Winker we all know, love, and rely on. So, good luck to Winker. He is batting 5th tonight in the lineup against the Baltimore Orioles. He is right back. He finished his rehab assignment. He's getting right back into it, thrown right back into MLB games. He'll basically be the everyday designated hitter unless you want Mark Vientos possibly facing a left-handed hitter. Of course, Winker hits from the left side, so he's going to be a little bit weaker against those lefties. Now, we heard about Zack Pop over here. He wasn't very good. I mentioned this in the video on Carlio, or Carillo, I should say. That's going to be fun getting used to his name. I love the story, so obviously I'm supporting this guy 110%. But I mentioned this. I said Zack Pop is very well a candidate to be off the 40-man roster because he didn't perform well, and that's exactly what happened. They DFA'd him, so he's no longer on the active roster. He's no longer on the 40-man roster. In fact, any team right now has 2 days to go claim him, and that's because of his bad outing on Sunday against the Yankees. He pitched an inning in the third, gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs on just 27 pitches, so not a very good day for Zack Pop, and therefore he got DFA'd. Unfortunately, with all the arms going down and with the Mets basically having to play the roster game every single day, if you don't pitch well, or even if you pitch a lot, you're likely not going to be returning the next day unless you're someone who is substantially on this roster in the bullpen, like a Ryan Stanek, Edwin Diaz, Huascar Brazoban, Reed Garrett. So that's the situation with Zack Pop. That's the situation with the roster. Let's go ahead and check on our players that are in the minor leagues on rehab assignments, starting with Kodai Senga. Yay, our ace. Mike Puma says, quote, Senga is scheduled to throw a bullpen tomorrow. If no issues, he will start Friday in Kansas City. He has had 1 start so far in the minor leagues. He started a rehab game where he threw 68 pitches in his first rehab start with AA Binghamton. The stats don't really matter. He didn't do so great, but what matters is he was able to throw 68 pitches, and now he's getting back on that routine. Pitchers have their routines. They throw their bullpen at some point in their 5-day cycle, and Senga's going to be throwing his bullpen now. He's throwing it today, which is good, or rather tomorrow. So that's good. That means he's back, he's on pace, and he is on pace to start Friday, as Puma said, against the Kansas City Royals in KC. Sean Manaea will also likely be back. As Puma says, quote, Sean Manaea will pitch in a rehab game tonight, that being Tuesday. If no issues, Mets will likely piggyback him with Clay Holmes on Sunday in Kansas City. Holmes would probably start with Manaea behind him. Mets don't want too long of a layoff for Holmes, who will start tonight due to the All-Star break. So Clay Holmes, he's starting tonight, and then he's going to start again on Sunday. The Mets don't want him going from this Tuesday all the way to not this coming Friday, the Friday after. They don't want that much rest for Clay Holmes, especially because he's new to starting. This is his first year as a starter. They want him to stay in as much of a routine as he can. And it's a little unfortunate with when Manaea and Senga are coming back because it's right before the All-Star break. It's right when you can really start to stretch those pitchers a tad because they have so many off days coming up with the All-Star break. It's 4 days, but whatever, it's fine. Holmes is going to start. Manaea is going to come in relief. So hopefully both play well and both pitch well, and we should get a guaranteed win on Sunday. But again, nothing's guaranteed in Major League Baseball. So very good news on all of those fronts. And well, let's go ahead and quickly and talk about the pitching staff and the next couple of days. Clay Holmes starting tonight against the Baltimore Orioles. It's a 3-game set against Baltimore. David Peterson scheduled to go tomorrow. Now, Thursday's a little bit interesting. If you go by the rest cycle and how a pitcher is supposed to have 4 days off and pitch every 5th day, it would be Frankie Montas throwing on Thursday, but he's actually scheduled for Friday, which is very interesting, probably because it's not guaranteed that Senga is starting on Friday yet, but as long as that bullpen goes well for Kodai, Kodai will start on Friday, which should mean Montas starts on Thursday. It could be Saturday because I don't know who the pitcher would be on Saturday. It's everybody that's in the rotation would have already pitched and would not be on proper rest. So Who knows what's going to go on Thursday or Saturday, depending on when Montas throws. If Montas throws Thursday, who knows what happens Saturday. If Montas is going Saturday, who knows what happens Thursday. But other than that, as you heard in this quote here from Puma, it is going to be Holmes and Minaya the day before the All-Star break starts on Sunday. So hopefully with a bunch of pitchers returning, especially to that Kansas City series, we can hopefully take 4 out of the next 6 games against a struggling Orioles team and a struggling Royals team. So let's go Mets. Let me know down in the comment section, how excited are you for Minaya and for Senga to return, Winker to return tonight? Are you concerned about Starling Marte? Give me all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for you in today's video. Thank you so much as always for watching, and let's go Mets.